Okay, so now, why do we go to the grave of a tzaddik, of a person who's on this level? The Arizal explains that there are two levels in Gilgul, in reincarnation. Jewish reincarnation, I'll just say it's not for now, but Jewish reincarnation bears very little resemblance to the more well-known reincarnation that they speak about in India and other places. First of all, there are different levels, very, very complicated, beautiful system of what is going on. I'll just give a quick rundown, very fast. Level number one is a person acted in a way that's inappropriate for a human being, and he really, or she really exaggerated, overdid it. So they come back in a rock, and they don't animate that rock. They don't exactly feel what the rock goes through. Their human cannot fit into an animal mind or plant or something like that. But they have to they're just starting over, like inanimate. You acted like an inanimate, like you acted like you had no brain, you had nothing, you were nowhere. So they start there, and then they move up. It's like kind of like being trapped. I once heard some person put it very nicely, being trapped in an elevator, or you just can't get out, and you're stuck in this place forever long. You're stuck, and you have a lot of time to think. Then you move on to plant life, you move on to animal life, and eventually human. So but you're only animating the human being if you are. That's one level. It's just a punishment. It's a way of moving forward, bringing the person forward. Gilgul, the actual word Gilgul in Hebrew, which means like a guy that's kind of like a wheel. The Arizal points out that the numerical value of Gilgul is chesed, which means kindness, because it's a kindness, it gives you another chance. The other aspect of Gilgul is that the soul comes back, or parts of the soul comes back to fulfill whatever mission they have to do. And that's why very often a person feels a tendency or to do things, a tendency to avoid things, certain weaknesses, certain strengths, because that's what they need to do to fix. Usually weakness is because you had it the last time and you come back and doing again the same problems, and you have to overcome that because that's where you are. That's why a person, God forbid, is suicidal. It doesn't. They just got to come back with a harder test of feeling a tendency to kill themselves and overcome it. Like it's not like it's like, oh, now you solved the problem. You didn't. You just have to come back and you'll have to deal with it harder usually. Unless there's a reason. So this is a reason. It's like, again, it's not totally our topic, but like this is called Gilgul. Now, this level called Gilgul is called Ibor. Ibor literally means impregnated. It means you get a spark of a tzaddik, of a righteous person. Now, I'll just say that someone came to the Chazon Ish, who was one of the greatest authorities in the last generation, a few generations ago. He's a very, very great person, very loving person. And he said, Rabbi, I'm really, really growing in my learning, but my prayers are not going so well. I cannot seem to really connect. I can focus on the meaning of the words. I can't connect. I'm trying 5-10 years. Every day I get up, I get to that, that prayer corner, the minyan, and I'm doing my prayers, and I just cannot get into it. So the Chazon Ish told him, listen, you have to keep going. You don't have to feel bad about it, because it's probably not what you need to fix in this lifetime. You need to do prayer whenever way you can, and if you see that there's such incredible barriers to really, really focusing, you don't need to worry. It's not what you need to do so much. You need to pray because that's part of Jewish law, but and you do according to everything, according to your holding. You need to know what you need to do and how you know what to do. But you don't need to worry, I can't connect. Okay, that's not what you need to do. He said, but if you make the extra effort and keep on fighting and banging against these barriers and keep on trying to overcome the obstacles, he said at a certain point you will get what the Kabbalists called an ibor, an impregnation of the soul of the tzaddik, and it will become your thing. You'll get a gift. Having this spark of a soul of tzaddik gifts you with the ability to go somewhere completely different, to transform yourself into taking his pathway, his channel, like we were speaking about before, and changing you and connecting you to him. Now, you can do this at home also, but the best place to get this spark is the grave of the tzaddik. That's the best place, because there's a part of the nefesh, a part of the aspect of the lower soul of the tzaddik is always available in the grave of the tzaddik. It's called the kist of the chiyusa. Every person has a little part of them that enables them to come back when the time will come, after the Messiah comes. There's something there, And tzaddikim, it's a beautiful, tremendous spirituality, as our sages say about Yaakov again, about Jacob, that they took out, it's like taking out a hair from milk. It's very not simple, the whole, what these things mean, but tzaddik is like Rav Micha said, it's like going next room, I won't hear you, I'll hear you the same way. It's like, it's for tzaddik leaving the world is not the same as just for a regular person. There are things to overcome and things to deal with. Tzaddik, he did them here. He managed all that here, so he's connected to something else entirely. So we go to the grave of Tzadik, and again we learn his teachings, or we pray to petition God and ask Hashem for help and connection, because we want very much to get that little spark. The Ari actually reveals a very deep kavana, a very deep thing to think about, deep. Unification, different deep things to think about, and he said part of that rectification is like to totally spread yourself out over on the grave of the Tzadik, and like to connect to his nefesh, this low level of the soul that's there, and bring it into you, bring a spark into you. So that, he says, you have to really be on the level to do that. But in general, that's also why sometimes you'll put a person prostrate on the grave. But Tzadik, they're trying to do something like that and get there. And in the works of Breslin, we actually, maybe not from Breslin, we find the deeper works that when you do your best and do what you can according to you, you're also getting a level of this ibur, of this impregnation of the soul of Tzadik. That's why Rav Micha actually said, he said, I want people to come to my grave because I want you to be kamoni mamish, or you to be exactly like me, which we understand to mean that you get this spark of the soul of the Tzadik, Rav Micha in that particular case, and it transforms you completely. That's why so many people go to, actually Uman specifically, and they can't even explain what they're getting. What am I getting? Okay, why are you going to Ukraine? So many people ask, why are you going? Okay, go to the Kotel, go to Jerusalem, why the Western Wall? Okay, normal. Go to the Cave of the Patriarchs in Hebron. Okay, these are places. Okay, you're in Israel. What are you doing in Ukraine? Like, what's the deal? And it's like, no, you don't understand. You go to Ukraine, you get something very, very special. Again, when you deal with a tzaddik who is able to reach the person who's the furthest person away from God, and away from being connected to humanity, like feeling depressed and feeling bad and feeling down. And we look at this person like, why are you so gloomy? What's the problem? And they really don't even know. I don't even know why. I don't know what this happened and that happened. You can put it together. You can go to therapy for many years. It doesn't empower you to really change. Especially with deep depression. I was sitting with a few psychologists not too long ago, and like, deep depression, man, just get together, move. What's it called, Pokemon Go now? They have this new game. You actually get up, so at least maybe you can overcome your depression. Something whatever. Good, go do something. Let's hope. But the guy can't. If you only go to the gym, you'll feel better. If you do this, but he's not going to do anything. He's just sit there and be gloomy. So you won't get anywhere. You can't move. But Rav Micha has the power. His teachings really move a person, really change a person. So that's one of the reasons people go. And and this people do say. They say, "Wow, you really are a different person. You went through that, and you're transformed. You're not the same guy. What happened to you 2 years ago, 3 years ago? What happened? Something is very integral. Is very changed." And that's that's the point. Come and see, or else you're not going to get it. But you go to the way of any tzaddik, it's possible to get a spark. Another way of getting a spark, as the Arizal says explicitly in Shari Gulim as well, in the Gate of Reincarnation, is he writes that saying the name of a tzaddik is another way of connecting to it. To say it very clearly, and the more you say it, the more you connect, especially before prayer, he says. So there are many ways of doing this. It's especially after a tzaddik is no longer in the world, to connect to a spark of a tzaddik who's alive is rare. He told Rav Chaim Vital once, you're yearning so much to be connected, to be one with me, you're almost getting an ibur from me. Almost. He said, alive, person's alive, it's very hard to, doesn't usually happen that way. Again, like I said, there's a certain fluidity there. It's not so easy to really connect in that way when the person's here. And though, as Abba Tanya points out, in a certain way, and I mentioned this a little before, in a certain way it's easier when someone's around, you talk to them directly, otherwise it's there's a little bit of a distance, a natural distance. Where is this person? I know okay, there's a deep spiritual presence here, and maybe you can feel it, maybe you can connect to it, but it's a little harder in a certain way. But you can get this aspect of Ibur and connect to God and be transformed by God through that. So to transform more, to become more godly through that. So that's a little bit of what we do when we go to a Kever Tzadik. And Hashem should help us. We should really connect and really transform ourselves to be able to fulfill our mission in this world. So Hashem.